Clear the dance floor. All right, let's bring the dance back.
Nicholas,
this is a little bit of a spicy question. Maybe not, but it's interesting. From Beth H. She says, is it okay to pay off the house early if we know our number and know that we will achieve it? We're currently in our mid-30s.
Hey, but no, come on, Bo. Look, I've given.
This is why I wanted to ask it.
I'll start it off, and then you can give your fighting words on this. Look, Beth H., you know our rules. We're very unique. We balance the get wealthy activities with the stay wealthy activities. And the reason we have the pre-45, I usually don't love people to pay off their low interest mortgage, especially if you guys are part of that large group of people that have mortgages that are below 4%. Because a lot of people who bought houses or refinanced their houses pre-2021 got some low interest rates out there, and you're not going to probably see that even with interest rate drops that potentially could come in 2024. You're just not going to see a 2.5-3% mortgage for quite a while. And I know how valuable compounding can be. And if you want to go to moneyguy.com/resources, we actually have a wealth multiplier tool now where you can right on the website see what does every dollar have the potential to become for you. So pre-45, you have a lot going for you, the wealth multiplier and what every dollar can become, versus when you're post-45, your money just doesn't compound as much as it does. Plus, you hopefully have made all the hard decisions in your 20s and 30s to where now paying off a mortgage from a stay wealthy makes a lot of sense, because I get sad when young people are not get wealthy. They're just trying to get rid of their mortgage as fast as possible. But you said something very valuable. You said we're already saving and investing greater than 25%. Sounds like you might have even done our know your number, where you know you're going to reach your goals at your current savings rate. At that point, Bo, I am willing to let go of the steering wheel and let this person, because I've talked to a lot of successful people that just paying off that mortgage gives them tremendous peace of mind, and they're going to do it. And I'm perfectly, because if you go through the financial order of operations, look, you've made it through steps 1 through 8. You've done all your prepaid to future expenses and abundance goals. You've got everything set up. If you're at step 9, rock and roll. I mean, I give you permission. I think it's great. Yes, it's not a maximization strategy, but maybe it's a peace of mind strategy for that young person that's a financial mutant and trying to get out of debt.
I don't disagree with you. Because you said the 25% thing. But I just want to, for Beth, I want to pose this. Now, Brian, have you ever run a half marathon before?
No.
By the way, I have not either. Not my thing, right? I'm not a big runner.
I've run one 5K. No, I've run probably 5 5Ks, and then I signed up for one 10K. The Peachtree Road Race didn't show up.
Well, you
so,
know what?
No, I definitely have not done a half marathon.
They say signing up is half the battle. I think. Here's where I'm
I just wanted the T-shirt.
Here's where I'm going with this, and this is what makes me really nervous about young people that do this. I love that Beth knows the number, and I love that Beth is saving 25%. I love that Beth has figured out that, hey, it looks like based on what I'm saving, based on what I've done thus far, I have confidence in where I'm going to end up. Now, here's what makes me nervous about your mid-30s. Reeb, I'm going to ask you this question. Mid-30s, like super easy time of life, super hard time of life?
It's not the easiest.
There's
a lot of things that are pulling at you, right?
A lot of commitments, both money and time.
So here's where I'm going with this. You start out on your half marathon, and you are pacing it great. You take off that first mile, like, holy cow, 8 minutes. Okay, great. You hit that second mile. I hit 8 minutes again.
That's not a fast time, by the way.
For a half marathon?
Okay, keep going.
Megan, is that fast time for half marathon? 8-minute mile? So
Okay.
then you hit your third mile. You're like 8 minutes again. You're like, all right, you know what? I'm at my third mile. I can be a little more aggressive. I know right now. I'm pacing 8 minutes on this thing, and so you start getting a little more aggressive, and so you push that time to 7:45 for that next mile, and then like I'm gonna do even more, and then that fifth mile you go down to 7:30, and then what happens? I knew where I was going. I knew what I was on pace for. But man, these hills got a little rough. Man, I'm having a hard time breathing. I'm having to slow down. And all of a sudden, the pace that you thought you were going to be able to keep to finish the race may not actually be the pace that you're able to keep. And so I think it's different. Again, if you're running a half marathon, that's like 13 something miles. I think if you're on mile 10, you can feel pretty confident about that last 3. But if you're still in mile 4 or 5, there's a lot of race left to run. And for someone in your mid-30s, there's still a lot of race. So even though you're moving in the right direction, you're taking the right steps, you're doing the right things, especially if you have that low interest mortgage, I get a little nervous getting too aggressive based on where the projection says it's going to take you. Having said that, if you're doing 25%, I will also put my flag next to Brian's flag. We say that saving 25% should get there. And if you're doing that, you get to choose what you do with your dollars. You get to choose if you want to prepay that mortgage in your 30s. That's just the thing that makes me a little uncomfortable.
It is one of those things. This is what's hard about what we do for a living, especially for financial mutants. You know, I am now post 45. I told y'all I wanted to have my house paid off, but that 2.5% mortgage is not, I mean, I just would rather make the 5% on my cash. And then I've told you guys, as soon as interest rates get dropped to where I'm not making more in cash than I am on what I pay on that 2.5% mortgage, I am just going to stroke a check and pay it off. So I see the relevance of your point. And I also confess that I might just pay off the mortgage pre-book launch just because I don't want I know every city we go to talk about this, they're going to say, have you paid off your house, like you mentioned in the book? And I'm just going to need to be able to say yes, probably. So I might just do it for the peace of mind of being able to tell people
for the messaging.
Because I mean, I owe so little on the house now, but it's just one of those things where this is where the financial mutant really does things to you. So, but Beth, I hope we gave you enough to think about where you can kind of now hear what our general guidance, color it to what your actual life has going on when you're painting by the numbers with all the different variables to where you get to now do your masterpiece financially.